What's up, everybody? The Jacks with Jackson Lean and Jackson Gym are back with another episode of our 45-minute workout series. Today we are going to be taking you guys through a lower body workout you can do if you are short on time and short on leg gains. We'll be talking through a few different principles of programming these shorter workouts. Remember, this workout is only meant to be 45 minutes in length. Let's get after it. The first exercise is going to be a calf raise. You can do this on standing machine, donkey calf, whatever you want to do. I like to start off lower body workouts, especially shorter ones, with calves, so A, they don't get neglected or skipped at the end, and B, it acts as a bit of a mobilizer for the ankle before you do your squatting, leg pressing movements without having to spend a ton of time on mobility, which if you're short on time is obviously a very important consideration. Is can you use exercises to warm you up throughout the session. This one's going to be 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps taken all the way to failure. Make sure you're not bouncing off the bottom. The second exercise here is going to be 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps taken all the way to failure of some seated leg curls. If you don't have a seated machine, a lying leg curl does work well. I've been programming leg curls before my big quad motions for a while now. Very John Meadows in nature. I just find that it warms up the knee in a way that doesn't put a ton of stress onto the knee right away. Also, again, people tend to skip hamstrings or put them at the end of the workout to get the sloppy seconds of energy. So by doing it a little bit earlier, you're gonna have those nice hanging hams. Like every exercise today, again, make sure you take this all the way to failure. About 90 seconds rest between each set here. You don't want to have crazy long rests when you're short on time, but you do want them long enough to be productive in terms of facilitating good output on the next set. So too short, not productive. Too long, also not productive. You might run out of time. Somewhere in that 90 seconds, maybe 2-minute range. The third exercise here is going to be a leg press movement, 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps taken all the way to failure. I am a fan of usually doing some leg extensions before getting into your compound leg work, but again, we're short on time and we want to find the most bang for your buck exercises. In this case, I do recommend a leg press just because there's going to be a little bit less aggressive strain on the knee than doing something like a hack squat right after those leg curls. In terms of where to put your feet on this one, I do want you to have just a little bit wider stance, maybe pulling a little bit more of the adductors since we don't have an isolated adductor exercise in this routine. The fourth exercise here is going to be some sort of hack squat variation. 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps. As far as rest periods on this one, 90 seconds to 2 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than on the leg curl, which at this point, obviously the programming has been kind of crescendoing on itself, such that as you've been going through the motions, you've been warming yourself up for something that's potentially a little bit more strenuous on your connective tissue, like the hack squat. I still recommend trying to choose machines and exercises that are easy to set up and as easy on your joints as possible, especially if you're short on time, so you're not spending a lot of time finagling around, trying to work through pain, which obviously cuts into your workout time. On this exercise, I want your feet just a little more narrow, kind of like hip width apart. It's not gonna make a massive difference, but like we had on the leg press, the legs a little bit wider. On this one, you're just a little bit closer. Make sure you're pronating well through the ankle there, get nice and deep. This one's gonna absolutely shred the quads. The fifth and final exercise of the workout is gonna be a belt squat RDL, 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps, taken as close to failure as possible, maybe 1 rep in reserve. Now the reason why I chose a belt squat here was simply from an ease of setup perspective. You're not spending a ton of time loading and unloading those weights. Again, we're short on time here. I typically like to put hinges like this at the end of a workout because now everything's been warmed up, so the connective tissues all ready to rock and roll. If you do get a little bit of work in the low back, now you don't have to go squat afterwards either. And just for maximizing your hamstring growth, we do want a leg curl and a hinge, and now we have both of those in this workout. So if you notice, we didn't have any supersets in this workout, and that's because, frankly, I think supersetting leg stuff, especially compound leg exercises, is kind of unnecessary and unnecessarily brutal. I don't think it's going to drive any better stimulus. Might actually reduce your stimulus a little bit. We also don't have any single leg work in here, just from a time perspective. I think it is incredibly beneficial if you have a little more time, or you do want to sub one of those, you can absolutely do so. As far as rest periods, again, those are kind of be exercise dependent. If you want to move a little bit faster, I'd say improve your conditioning. Obviously move through a full lower body workout, or if you want to add more sets, you got to improve your conditioning and be able to get through that, because that recovery between sets is crucial to have a productive next set. Females can typically handle a little bit more volume because they need a little bit less recovery between sets. They're also not quite as strong, not spending quite as much time loading weights, warming up, etc. So those are all small considerations, and we'll do another video on a more female-centric lower lower body workout, especially those of you who are into bikini, wellness style training. So stay tuned for our next video of our 45-minute workout series.